Nothing matters. That's the thesis of this book, The Stranger by Albert Camus. Albert Camus. I'm not French. It's a very important French novel. Camus was a believer in absurdism. Maybe the father of absurdism? I don't know. I didn't read that far down the Wikipedia article. But absurdism is an offshoot of existentialism. And existentialism is the idea that everything is meaningless. Life is meaningless. There's no inherent meaning. Absurdism is the response that, well, then we should live on anyway. You know, we should try our best. And I found that, like, wanting. You know, I found it, at the bottom I found it empty, which maybe was a commentary on absurdism in itself. Maybe I'm making the case better than if I were to just outright disagree or agree. But the person in this book has no inner life whatsoever. They're basically a tarantula who can form sentences. They're reacting to what happens around them at any given time. And not in a cool, like, way, like they're doing a profile on a sociopath or something. There just is nothing going on behind the eyes. And I've known a lot of people who are smart, dumb, interesting, dull, simple, complex. I've never known someone who, if you probed a little bit, didn't have some kind of dreams or hopes or resentments or inner monologue guiding what they were doing on a day-to-day basis, or thoughts about bigger things. There's always something there, but not with Meursault, the main character here. And I think that's why I don't like absurdism, because it's based on this, you know, it's based on this idea that, like, there's nothing there, you know, there's nothing there for this guy. I don't really know if I'm articulating myself, but it's this idea that, like, you have a friend who's super insecure about their looks or, you know, their attractiveness, and they find themselves irredeemable. They're so insecure that they think nobody can ever love them. It's not worth it, blah, 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 right? However, they are paradoxically a super genius at making this assessment, and nothing can change their mind, right? And I find, like, there's nothing that can be brought to the table that will change their mind because of the conclusion that they start at. And that's why I don't like this book, because it reminds me of that when it comes to absurdism, right? It's like a conclusion that arrives at itself. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just didn't like this book for that reason, you know. But it is an important book.